Hello everybody, this is Howard the Teaserking coming to you with some more NBA playoff games for you. I hope you made a lot of money on the betting theories I've been giving you. The locks have both won the 15 stars. We played Cleveland game 4, not for a lot. They got, it's much closer. That's the thing, when their backs were against the wall in game 3, they had to win. They blow them out. Now they've got the win. They don't have to win as much. Look what happens. They win game 4. Tonight we're on the home team, Boston, and that won because their backs were against the wall. Next game. Now here's the next lock. Take Cleveland. Lay the few points. They'll blow them out because now Boston can relax because they are now 3-2. They can't lose the series. Cleveland now is 3-2. If they lose the series. So now their backs are against the wall. Cleveland's going to kill them. Plus, Boston's terrible on the road. Cleveland in a must-win at home after just blowing them out the games 3 and 4. Another lock. Take Cleveland. Bet a ton. Cleveland will win. Cover. Again, the league wants it to go 7. LeBron wants it to go 7. They'll get all the calls just like they did in games 4 and 5, and you can see by tonight's game what happens. The role players played better at home. The Boston role players played better. The Cleveland role players played worse. I'm really having a hard time listening to these guys on the radio, these announcers, who think they know anything about sports gambling or psychology. I mean, they'll go, well, how come the role player plays so good in Boston, but then he goes to Cleveland and he can't play, or vice versa? It's like, because there's 25,000 people screaming the top of their lungs. So the guy's going to play better at home than he is on the road because of the fans. They're so close, and it's more emotional. You're right with the guy. So therefore, that's what you have. As far as so in the next series, so we got Cleveland game 6, a lock. And then it should be Boston to win game 7 and beat them, because like here, like just take emotion out of it. You can see Boston wins at home the first 2 games. You would think, oh, they're going to sweep them. But no, now the game's in Cleveland. It's a different game. This is what I try to teach when I do football. It always matters where the game's at and who's the matchup. That's just the normal sense of how you pick. So you can't, if a team A kills team B at home and now they got to travel, it's not the same team. It's not the same matchup. So you'll see San Diego win 38-0 over Houston, and then now San Diego goes to the Jets, and they're lucky if they and they lose 17-13. You're like, well, wait, they blew out Houston at home. Yeah, the game's not at home, and now they go at the Jets. It's a whole different team. It's a whole different environment, and that's what you got to understand. And so in basketball, the home court makes up a huge difference. So it's Cleveland lock next game. Boston game 7, not a lock, but you bet Boston. Especially the spread looks like it'll be 1 like it is today. Next game, Golden State Houston. So far, it's been bet the loser back. So you notice how the series are different, and you got to analyze the trend, right? Boston, Cleveland, bet the home team. And they're just not equal. Like it's Boston can't win in Cleveland. Cleveland can't seem to win in Boston. When you look at Golden State and Houston, they're very equal. You bet the loser back. Golden State wins game 1. Houston loses, W. Golden State loses, W. Houston loses, W. Okay, so who lost? Golden State. Here, there isn't the same home court advantage. This is a totally different environment and a totally different players and matchups. They have enough talent they can win on the road. The matchup just doesn't. It's very even. So the loser gets pissed, and therefore that's who you bet. So game 5 is you got Golden State getting a point or even. I see a 1 and an even. So get your best line, but it really won't matter. Golden State. Not a lock, but a very strong play on Golden State. Now, whoever loses this game 5 is a lock in game 6. We really wanted Golden State to win the game and not cover yesterday. Would have made it a lock taking Houston in this game, having to win or being eliminated. So it's like you wanted, Golden State to win. They ran out of, they didn't run out of gas. They just ran out of matchups at the end there. They just took some terrible shots. It's like, dude, and why if you're down a point do you take a 3-point shot? Do they not know it's harder to hit a 3-point shot? The percentage is a lot less. Why don't they just give the ball to Durant, give the ball to Thompson, give it to Curry? Somebody, they're going to get the call at home. What are you doing, man? Drive in the lane, get fouled, or make a short shot. Get the 2 points. You don't need a 3-point shot when you're down 1. It's just beyond me how stupid these players and coaches are today. Anyway, so we take Golden State next game. Now, if Golden State, it's not a lock, it's a strong play. There's a difference. You bet less units. Cleveland's a lock next game. Boston was a strong play tonight. Cleveland's a lock the next game. So then you got Golden State, you're playing strong. I don't know, 7-8 units. Now the loser of that is the lock in the next game. We want Golden State to win. We're betting them, and the spread looks even. So Golden State goes up 3-2. Houston's facing elimination. Normally Chris Paul's the biggest. Paul and Harden are the biggest chokers in the world, so I don't know if they can handle a game 6, but we bet them in game 6 because it's an elimination game. Even though you think Golden State would say, okay, we've got to win this game. We don't want to go back to Houston for game 7. So you got to be a little careful there. But right now it's Golden State after the loss. If Houston wins tomorrow and they go up 3-2, then it makes Golden State a lock in game 6. Anytime the team needs to win game 6 and the other team can afford to lose and go home for game 7, the team that needs to win game 6 at home is a lock. So, in essence, if Houston wins tomorrow, they go up 3-2. Golden State now is home. If they lose, they're out. You bet them hard to win game 6. The psychology on Houston is, well, we can relax. We're up 3-2. We're not facing elimination, and we'll win game 7 at home. And Golden State obviously can't afford to lose. So once you get that mindset where the series is on the line, like you got Cleveland tomorrow, this is do or die, and the series is on, and Boston's saying, we can afford to lose. We got game 7 at home where we don't lose. So you got to love Cleveland's like probably a 20-star lock tomorrow or the next game. But here I would say definitely take Golden State because they lost. But if Houston wins, then Golden State's a lock in game 6. They will not lose game 6. They'll win by 30. And then we go back to Houston. And I would think Houston, if it goes to 7, would actually win at home. Hard to say, but Houston's such chokers. We'd have to see the line. That would be a tough one, but the way it's going, we want Golden State tomorrow. Golden State wins. We're coming back with Houston then in game 6. So it's kind of getting scrambled where there is no home team winning. It's 2-2, home team, visitor. Every team after a loss has come back. So Golden State tomorrow, medium. If they win, and they should, then we bet Houston in game 6. Not a lot. They're facing elimination, but they've never won anything. They're chokers. And that's where you give Golden State a little bit of, yeah, they're not bad. They're champs. That's the other thing. You got to drive a stake through their hearts to really beat the champs. Like New England in football, and the Yankees in baseball. They don't lose very often when they're facing elimination because they know how to win. Houston does not know how to win. You have to learn how to win. And I'm from Detroit. I watched the Pistons, Isaiah. They had to lose. They had to have Bird steal the ball before they understood what do you got to do to win, and they won the next year. That always happens. So Houston, really hasn't been there. They've choked time in and time again. So therefore, you've got to be careful with them. So we're leaning, if it does become like a Game 7, probably taking Golden State. So anyway, Golden State tomorrow. If they win, Houston Game 6, Golden State Game 7. Even though it's crossed because the visitors are doing it. If Houston wins, Golden State tomorrow. If Houston wins, Golden State's a lock to win Game 6 at home. Win by 30. Game 7, I would think Golden State would win the series. I think when they're facing elimination, they're going to be really tough to beat. And again, Houston doesn't have the defense. And I don't see the home court. Golden State should have won yesterday, and they run out of gas. Okay, fine. So that's why Golden State will be pissed. They win Game 5. Houston, now Houston's facing elimination. Golden State, really, I could see them winning Game 6. It wouldn't surprise me. But the way the series is going, betting the loser back seems like the prudent play. But obviously, if Golden State wins tomorrow, you don't bet a ton on Houston. You bet a little bit. But if it's 9 and 10 points, then you bet Houston in Game 6. Golden State's not going to blow them out if Golden State's up 3-2. If Houston's up 3-2, Golden State wins by 40 again. And then we go to Game 7 where we got to bet Golden State because they know how to win and Houston doesn't. And if Houston wins, they win. But the smart play is you bet the champs until they lose. So that's Teaser King, trying to make you some more money so you can get ready for football and make some real money. I already have some good plays for the first week of college. Looking at the lines, they just came out. Looking at the matchups, I got to get my magazine, my college magazine. And basically my key there is I look for the returning quarterbacks who are good. And you got to be careful with the new quarterbacks. That's where the problem arises. Here's some hotshot freshmen like Lamar Jackson, like Winston at Florida State. Then all of a sudden they come in, they're freshmen, you have no idea who they are. So you got to watch these new quarterbacks at least 5 games and against a good team. You can't watch Lamar Jackson against Pacific and go, oh, he's a superstar. And I know a lot of people do that. Or this Alabama quarterback who came in to beat Georgia. He played a half. This guy's nothing. Who knows? The other guy I thought Hurts was very good. So we got to see who the starting quarterback is and how they play. Serious competition. I think Alabama opens against Louisville. That'll be a nothing game because they're going to face Louisville with a new quarterback. Unless I can dig out some information on the guy. Alabama will kill him because it's a big game on TV. That's what Alabama thrives on, and they got their quarterback back. So anyway, that's coming up, but I already spotted a couple of key college games that I love. 1 point spread's way off already, and you just got to be careful, with injuries and stuff. But that's coming. Anyway, Cleveland Game 5, no, Game 6 at home, next game, lock. Golden State tomorrow, strong play. If Golden State needs Game 6 at home, lock. Otherwise, small play on Houston. Well, if Houston's down 3-2 and they're getting 9, you can bet it pretty decent. Not a lock. You don't lock against Golden State unless you got Cleveland or Boston, that a good team. And then Game 7, if it goes Game 7, then you take Golden State. Even though normally the home team wins, the better team will win, and the clutch team and the winners, which are Golden State, I can't see them losing Game 7 in a must-win. So once they're back, if Golden State ever goes down to 3 losses, then you just keep betting them because they're not gonna lose the series. They're winners, they're champs. They're not gonna lose the series. All right, everybody, Teaser King coming to you with some NBA. So good luck. I've been on fire with them. These series are lining up beautiful. Cleveland, Boston, you had to switch to the home teams, which I did. And Golden State, Houston, just is bet the loser back, I like that too. So there's 2 theories. You just got to figure out if the teams are even or there's a huge advantage at home. Usually when the teams aren't that strong, then they win at home and they can't win on the road. So anyway, good luck to you. www.teaserking.com. Have a great night, everybody.